bigger, like the tickers on my watch. Portfolio glowing red to green, Santa's on the cloud. I'm sliding down the trend line like it's fresh wax snow. Every candle that's green got me singing. Oh, I'm trimming losers like I'm cutting off the dead pine needles, but I'm stacking these winners like I'm sculpting flying eagles. Candle charts in my stockings, yeah, they dance like Mr. Frost. One wick up, 2 wicks down, that's the cost of crisscross. Bought the dip so hard it felt like diving down a chimney. Santa's on my limit, oh, tonight you wanna try and mimic me. Snowflakes on the window look like signals on the MACD. Every flurry forming patterns only degenerates can see. I ain't waiting for no Santa, I'm my own damn slave. Yeah. Riding trends like reindeer when the market starts to sway. When the bells start ringing, man, you know what that means. It's a green Christmas Eve with these evergreen games. Come on now. Snow is falling, but my risk is fine. I'm a DJ elf stacking calls like gifts. Let the sleigh run wild like a bird that writes his pride. Ooh, it's a green Christmas. Green Christmas. May your nights be bright and your charts stay lit. Yeah, Rudolph nose glowing like a bullish RSI. I'm seeing overbought signals in the frost in the sky. Cookies on the table look like round number resistance, and these milk white candles breaking through with persistence. Chestnuts roasting like my margin when I overlevel long, but the choir of my gains keeps singing risk makes a song. I'm wrapping up my profits with a bow made of greed, trading like a 3 wise men prophecy I don't read. Oh, the snowdrift trend sideways like consolidation heat. But when the winds shift north, man, they break out sweet. I'm sledding down the Bollinger like rails of Christmas chrome, finding alpha in the shadows like a wolf on the roam. It's a green Christmas, baby, when the candles climb a wall. It's a baby, the candles climb. Falling, but my risk is fine. Snow is falling, but my risk is fine. I'm a DJ elf stacking calls like gifts. Let the sleigh run wild and volatility lives. Ooh, it's a green Christmas. Green Christmas. May your nights be bright and your charts stay lit. Ooh, hey. If Santa's running futures, hope his head's real tight, 'cause the market never sleeps, not even Christmas night. So I sip my cocoa, watch the spread compress, and whisper to the stars, green Christmas. Nothing less.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday, folks. I appreciate you joining me at the crack of dawn. It is a beautiful Monday, December the 8th, and we're here to see most likely a pretty exciting week in the market, because midway through this week, 2 p.m. Eastern this Wednesday, we will be getting the FOMC decision. On top of that, we're getting the SEP, the Summary of Economic Projections. And then 30 minutes after that, we will be getting the press conference from Jerome Powell, where he's either going to tell us about being either hawkish or dovish, maybe commentary on the new Fed. It's going to be an exciting week. I know last week was exciting through the lens of it was rather easy to make money. Everyone in the Goonie Discord absolutely crushed it. The Piper signal went 5 for 5. I traded it every single day, Monday to Friday, was able to make $3.8 thousand on a 30K account, a nice 12.7% return, just selling premium, selling premium, selling premium. And then obviously, if you guys were watching the live show, you probably saw a lot of the futures trading. I am currently still waiting to hear back from Apex. My payout request is currently pending, so they haven't decided approved or denied. So hopefully at some point this week, we do find out about that. So lots to chit chat about. We're going to be getting into the world of options. We're going to be getting into the world of futures. We're going to be getting into the world of larger news of what's happening this week in terms of the overall market, monetary policy. We have a lot to chit chat about when it comes to individual equities. I don't know if you just saw it, but literally seconds before I started the show today, we have some new drama related to Warner Brothers and Netflix, and now Paramount's getting involved, and then Trump was even getting involved over the weekend. There's just a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and the fact that you guys are here on your way to work, dropping your kids off at school, or maybe you're just about to really lock in and trade for the day, I just wanted to say thank you. Folks, I hope you had an absolutely phenomenal weekend. Whatever you got up to, I hope you either got a little bit of relaxation or maybe hung out with friends and family. Whatever you did, I hope you had a good one. I hope you had a safe one, and I hope you were ready for another fun-filled week in the world's largest casino. Thank you for being here, and with that being said, let's do a little bit of a switchity-roo. Public is going to be the partner of today's show, and more on them in a second. You should read this disclosure. Obviously, understand whenever you're getting involved in the markets, there is risk. But you should know, in my humble opinion, Public is not even close, but by far the best place to be an options trader. So if you're an options trader, an aspiring options trader, I think it's at least worthwhile to click on that link pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Download it, sign up. You could do those actions for free just to check it out and see if it's for you. But I'll give you the whole spiel on that in 1 second, probably closer to market open. But obviously between now and market open, you do have enough time to get your account set up. So check out what's going on with Public. S&P 500 futures rise led by tech sector as Broadcom Games, IBM makes $11 billion deal. So there's actually quite a few deals going across the tape this morning. Broadcom's reporting later this week. It's probably the major report of the week to pay attention to. Ticker symbol AVGO. It's in the world of semiconductors. It's actually the second biggest semiconductor play, just below NVIDIA, having a really good push this morning. So we're going to talk about that. Crypto is even recovering a little bit more. It's been recovering, but it's still continuing to push in the upward direction. So we're going to chat about that. We have some larger deals going on. For example, right now, Zelensky says no accord yet on Ukraine's east in the U.S. talks. I know this isn't going to be directly impacting the stock market as in, oh my God, tomorrow, this, that, the other thing. But obviously, when you're talking about global tensions, when you're talking about maybe those uncertainties being removed off the table, obviously it could have secondary and tertiary effects. So I've been bringing this up just to keep you guys apprised of the situation. If you look at Kohrs and Poly Market, the chance of this being resolved by the end of this year is actually slim. I think it's below 10%. So I'm by no means saying, oh, like this is something we should be betting on. But obviously, I want you guys to kind of be in the know because it's not the biggest stretch by any stretch of the imagination that this could eventually have an impact on the market. Trump says Zelensky hasn't read U.S. peace proposal as tensions mount. Trump claims Zelensky has not read the latest U.S.-backed peace plan yet. It's uncertain which version of the plan the Ukraine Trump was referring to. Trump's comments come a day after talks between U.S. and Ukrainian officials ended in Miami without an agreement. Zelensky's meeting European allies in London and Brussels this week. So it does still feel as if we're stuck in that awkward mode of just everyone is being drugged to the table, kicking and screaming, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that eventually they will resolve it. So like I said, just a little piece of larger news, but obviously, if you're here paying attention to the economy and more so the stock market, there are things that you're going to really, really want to be paying attention to in terms of the scheduled macroeconomic events of the week. Not much going on today. Tomorrow, we should be getting JOLTS job openings, and there's a 10-year note auction at 1 p.m. So that's all Tuesday, December the 9th. What also starts on the 9th is the start of the FOMC meeting. Not a lot of people know that it's actually a 2-day meeting, so they start chit-chatting on Tuesday, and then we get the decision from the Fed Wednesday. So it's a 2-day meeting, and then Wednesday at 2 p.m., we do get the Fed interest rate decision and the FOMC statement, and then 30 minutes past that, we're also going to be getting the commentary from Powell, this particular time is going to be very, very, very important. Powell's vote gathering challenge shows tests for the next Fed chair. We basically had a multi-year period where all the voting members were pretty much in agreement. It was only in rare circumstances that we got dissenting votes, as in all the voting members of the Fed basically agreed on doing the exact same thing. Now, over the past 2 votes, we've had more dissenting votes, and now we think that that number is going to continue to increase as tensions within the Fed start to not really boil over, but they're probably not going to be as hunky-dory as they've been. So that's what this is referring to. For those of you who want to know the odds, 95% chance that we're getting a 25 bips rate cut, as in we're getting a 25 bips rate cut. If you look at Call Sheet, if you look at Polymarket, if you look at the Fed Watch Tool, all of them are indicating pretty much the same thing. And then even if you're just using the bond market as a barometer, yeah, we are going to be getting a 25 bips rate cut. As I said in the update video yesterday, if this is already known, if this concept of, oh, the market's already priced it in, what in the world's going to move the market then? Well, the answer is pretty much the speech. And on top of that, this time around, not only do we get the Fed chair speech at 2:30 this Wednesday, and obviously the market is going to be hanging on every single word of are we bullish, or excuse me, are we dovish, are we hawkish, that type of a thing. Of course, maybe this time around, there might be some questions about the next Fed chair. It's probably going to be one of those things where the people asking questions are going to ask it, but I'm sure that Powell's going to take the kind of quote unquote political professional route of basically saying, hey, I'm not talking about that right now. I have no idea. That's the sitting president's decision. I don't know. But I just want to let you know that that is going to probably be a topic of conversation this upcoming Wednesday. Kevin Hassett, currently a 78% chance of being nominated, or really, yeah, I guess nomination, not technically going all the way through, but I guess the betting market, the question directly is who will be nominated. And right now it is Kevin Hassett, 78%. So yes, that can move the market, but I also want to remind you that every other Fed meeting, we get what's referred to as the SEP, the Summary of Economic Projections. Notice how in January, there's something missing here. In March, projection materials. May, something is missing. June, projection materials. That's what I'm saying is every other one, you get the new SEP, the Summary of Economic Projections. Last FOMC meeting in October, we did not get one, which means this time around in December, we do get another SEP, another Summary of Economic Projections. Just to show you what it looks like, I'll bring it up. But this is when people refer to the dot plot right here, all these weird little dots. Sometimes they look like a Christmas tree. These are all the individual votes of FOMC members, and they're basically answering questions of where do you see unemployment going? Where do you see GDP going? And obviously from there, we start to get an idea of like, okay, are they all agreeing on the same one, or is it just averaging it out because it's an awkward spread? So once again, these are all individual thoughts of where we're going to be at certain times for certain levels for very important economic measures. Like I said, you get it every other FOMC meeting, and this meeting to conclude the final one of the year, this December one, we will be getting another one. So this time around, this Wednesday, really is going to be the major news of the week. And if you ask me, it's going to be the thing that decides, are we double topping here pretty much at the all-time high and we get rejected and there's no Santa Claus rally, Santa Claus not coming to town? Or is the other option that, no, this is actually just going to be like a cup and handle breakout, a little fake out breakdown, and we push and we get a legit Santa Claus rally pushing to new all-time highs, gaining and potentially seeing 7,000, 7,100 by year end? In my humble opinion, and this is just a prediction, maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, I strongly believe this Wednesday meeting is going to be that thing that sets us up for the legit new all-time high Santa Claus rally, and we push for the remainder of the year, or we end up just double topping and we come back to kind of just equilibrium and we end up coasting out for the rest of the year. That's what I believe this meeting is going to be. So yes, pay attention to the fact that we're getting a 25 bips rate cut, but more important than that is the SEP, the Summary of Economic Projections. You get that exactly at 2 p.m. And then from there, all of the commentary and really the words from Powell. Is he leaning dovish? Is he leaning hawkish? And at some point, we don't know when, there's not a scheduled announcement, but at a certain point, we're going to find out who the next Fed chair is. As you already saw, the markets are heavily favoring Kevin Hassett as of the point of this show, 78% chance. And I would expect on that announcement, in the short term, I don't know if it's going to last, but in the short term, I would be predicting a bullish reaction. And the answer as to why is because he's viewed to be pretty dovish, especially given the current state of things. And remember, even though dovish mindsets are eventually going to prompt more inflation. In the short term, money becomes cheaper. When money is cheaper, you generally see asset values going up. So I would expect the crypto market to go up, the equities market to go up, honestly, even the real estate market to go up, because we're going to be looking at most likely a continued succession of rate cuts. So eventually the payment for that is higher inflation. But in the short term, well, you start to see things really, really pop. And later on in the week, we're getting initial jobless claims, 30-year bond auction. There's also most likely a chance that we're going to be getting a PPI report this week, the producer price index, probably coming out either the 10th or 11th. I might be misremembering that. It actually might be the 11th or the 12th, but later on this week, there's also a chance of getting the producer price index. So that's pretty much the schedule for the week. I do want to remind you, especially for those of you who saw the newsletter, this is 100% free. Folks, sign up for it every single Sunday to your email inbox. You get this breakdown. Gives you a little bit of a recap of what happened the last trading week. Cheat sheet for earnings. I'll be coming back to that in a second. Obviously, all the major macroeconomic events. Most useful is the seasonality of each individual day. I know that I'm the person who tells you from basically mid-October up until mid-January, seasonally, the bulls are in control. And that is true, but that doesn't mean every single individual week or obviously every single individual day is bullish. And this week is one of those weird, awkward weeks in December where it's actually historically bearish. Now, remember, just because I'm saying historically bearish, that means it's bearish more than 50% of the time. I'm not saying it's bearish all the time, but we do have one little week right now, the week we're going into, that for whatever reason bucks the overall trend. So yes, the overall trend in this month, this quarter is bullish, but this particular week, for whatever reason, ask your other trader friends of why they're selling in this week, but it does tend to favor the bears. And today specifically is a little bit more neutral. Tuesday's a little bit more bearish. Wednesday's a little bit more bullish. Thursday is clearly bearish, and so is Friday. So the conclusion of this week, just from a seasonal standpoint, this is not an end-all, be-all guarantee. In fact, you have a 4% edge and you have a 7% edge. It does slightly favor the bears. So I just want to let you know about that, especially on top of all of what's going on. Now, if you ask me, personally, with this type of an event, the FOMC meeting, am I really considering it that much? In terms of, when I say it, I mean seasonality, not so much. I think really what's going to be going on this particular run is the market is going to be waiting for what Powell says, how he says it, the questions, how he responds to it. I think this is going to be the deciding factor and probably have a bit more impact than seasonality. Seasonality might prove to quote unquote be right. If Powell somehow comes out as pretty hawkish, yeah, then we're going to drop. But this time around, what I really care about is this Wednesday. Mark your calendars, set an alarm, do whatever you need to. But 100%, that is what you gotta mainly be paying attention to. But there are other interesting things on the docket. Tomorrow morning, we're hearing from Campbell's. One of their C-suite people just said Campbell's soup is for poor people. Let's see how that impacts sales. After the market closes on Tuesday, we hear from GameStop and Cracker Barrel and Dave & Buster's. Wednesday, Chewy. After the market closes, Oracle and Adobe are probably of interest to some of you. And then also on Thursday after the market closes, Lululemon, Costco, but the most important one of the week is right here, Broadcom. Broadcom is a top 10, top 15 stock. It's the second biggest semiconductor play, as in it's in that world of NVIDIA. Actually, in fact, it goes NVIDIA as the number one semiconductor play. Broadcom is number two. Broadcom right now in pre-market is actually looking pretty good. If you want to bring it up on your screen, the ticker symbol is AVGO. AVGO is Broadcom's second biggest one. Right now, obviously, we're kicking off the week, but it's a couple days out, but obviously there is a bit of enthusiasm going into this. So like I said, on top of the bigger news of Russia and Ukraine and maybe just the U.S. news of monetary policy, diving into individual companies, there is still some stuff going on. On that particular note, Trump warns Netflix Warner deal may pose antitrust problems. So last week, we found out that just potentially Netflix would be buying Warner Brothers for, I believe, about $72 billion, I want to say is the number. And then right away, and then even more so over the weekend, Trump said, we're going to be looking into this. If you don't know what antitrust means in this particular case, it basically means monopoly. In the U.S., we have some pretty stringent anti-monopoly rules, and Trump said he and his team are looking into it. And now the drama becomes even more. Just this morning, like literally as I was starting the show, Paramount Skydance launches hostile bid for Warner Brothers after Netflix wins bidding war. David Ellison-run Paramount Skydance is launching a hostile bid to buy Warner Brothers Discovery. Paramount will go straight to WBD shareholders with an all-cash $30 per share offer, which is more than, I believe, the $27.75. It was basically just below $28 that they were first being offered. Netflix won a bidding war for Warner Brothers Film Studio and HBO Max streaming service, but it doesn't plan to buy Warner Brothers TV networks. Paramount has already repeatedly argued keeping Warner Brothers Discovery whole was in the best interest of the shareholders. So beyond just, hey, we're offering more money, the deal itself is being structured in a slightly different way. Like I said, this is breaking news as of this morning and definitely can offer a little bit of drama. So if you're at all playing Netflix or Warner Brothers or Paramount or any of this, pay attention to this drama because it seems like it's going to be a fun one. The regulatory patch ahead for Netflix and Warner Brothers deal could get dicey, and this was written actually before we even knew about the Paramount thing. So it is very much already getting dicey. Now, speaking of dicey, in a slightly different vein of thought, Elon Musk calls for abolition of European Union after X fined $140 million. The EU is not the best friend of the concept of free speech. At least you don't have the same free speech protections that you do in the US. And Elon is making his thoughts and opinions of that known and how he basically doesn't agree with the EU in his own perception overreaching. So we covered this story last week that he's getting fined. Will he pay it? Will he not pay it? Is he just going to go on a Twitter tirade? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, but another piece of drama early this morning. Like I said, sign up for this newsletter. It is 100% free. MattKohrs.locals.com. My mod will put it in chat. It's also in the description of the video. And now bringing it back to the market today. So here's a look at the S&P 500, aka the overall market. You can see we hit an all-time high on Wednesday, October the 29th, and as of close on Friday, we are only 0.73% away, as in we are within 1% of a new all-time high, which is kind of funny because think about how quickly things change. Within, this 2-week period, solid recovery, but I remember back at the end of November, heading into Old Turkey Day, that everyone was freaking out. Everyone's like, this is the end of it. Oh my God, that was capitalism's over. The market's over. We broke the 50 EMA. Yeah, granted, when we were down there, it might have been a breakout, or a breakdown, but this is what happens in the market. There are such things as fake outs, and this idea of being able to 100% predict what's going to happen all the time with heightened certainty, it just doesn't happen. Sometimes you get fake outs. It just so happens that this particular one was a fake out. We broke down below the close. We had multiple closes below the 50 EMA. Yeah, things can happen. And then guess what? Fast forward 1 or 2 days, maybe a bit of a recovery. Then it became pretty evident on Tuesday the 25th. And then ever since then, we popped up, got this trend line breakout. We made a higher low, and then we're continuing to push. So from here, the question is, well, what could happen? Yeah, obviously we could push all the way up, get a new all-time high, break and run. And probably that would happen if the FOMC meeting goes well. If it goes poorly, this could be a double top situation and we could absolutely get smashed. And guess what? As we can see here in late November, there are fake outs. So when I'm saying basically be prepared for anything, of course, there's certain higher probability pathways, likelihoods of what could or couldn't happen. I'm not saying that they're all equally distributed, but that just means be prepped up. And when I like to really drive into what I mean when I mean be prepped up, it means have your trading plan, stick to it, and don't overbet. You don't know what's happening. You don't know the next bar, the next announcement. You don't know what the next trader is going to do that gets into the trade after you. Are they going to be more or less bullish? You have no idea. Is it a fat finger mistake? Is it a big hedge fund, small retail trader? You don't know what's happening in the market after you because you don't know what people are going to do with their money and their opinions after you, which means even if you're as confident as could be, the name of the game when it comes to active trading is forever stick to your trading plan, as in be disciplined, follow your entry rules, follow your exit rules, and for the love of Mary herself, please do not overbet. It doesn't matter how confident you are. It is overbetting, and the fact that if you keep doing it, eventually variance is going to come for you and you're going to get absolutely clocked. So right now, I have to admit, from a price structure, from a price momentum, and from an options flow perspective, the bulls are in control. from all the data that I care about, that I measure, that I use to dictate my own trades, I would argue that the bulls are in control, hence why my personal bias is bullish. When I look at things like SPX, when I look at things like NDX, right now, I fully think that the bulls are in control. But that doesn't mean I just go take my entire account and bet it on the bullish direction, because things change, especially when you have an event such as the FOMC meeting this Wednesday. So right now, going into today, and we're kind of just continuing to drill into a smaller and smaller time frame, yes, I am looking for bullish opportunities. That is what I'm looking for. But I also am going to have my stops and my sizing in control. So if I happen to be wrong, it's more of a survivable hit, if that makes sense. Now, okay, we have about 4 minutes to go, so I should really drive into it. So when the market opens, obviously, we're going to be watching options flow on the Mag 7. We're going to be watching options flow on the S&P 500. But first, I should let you know about all the key levels I care about today. As I always do, I mark out the previous session's high, low, and close. That is the green, the red, and the white horizontal line. That is the previous session's high, low, and close. The white box is the transition zone, and today's transition zone is a little bit strange. So I want to point something out about it. But before we do that, I also just want to let you know that we have these yellow lines, which are the major plays where we see big money positioned at. And I should let you know, just because it could happen today, and I feel kind of silly that I didn't mark it out already on my chart, the all-time high, you know what we should do? We should just straight up mark that out. Let's make it green, because green means bullish, as we all know. We were taught that in school. Why is it still blue? I just want to make it nice and green. All right, so the all-time high, which theoretically is in play today, is 690.20.34. Did that pop up? Okay, right there. That's why people are playing 6925. They are targeting the all-time high. But anyway, you have the previous high, low, and close, the transitional zone, and then the white lines are the major open interest levels. And this is something we have not seen. Right now, I know maybe at first this might look how it normally looks to you, but in fact, it's completely inverted. I know many times right before the market opens, I'm the first person telling you Captain Condor is back in play. They have a call credit spread up top, a put credit spread on the bottom, and it creates bounds on the day. And generally, we close the market out that trading session within those bounds. Basically, it's the combination of an overbet and an underbet simultaneously, but at a higher level and a lower level. So it kind of just creates your bounds. Today is the opposite. This is not a call credit spread. This is not a put credit spread. We have a call debit spread, the opposite. We have a put debit spread. This is an opposite. So if you go into it, you can kind of see how it's structured. This is a bet we just don't see often, which makes me think that we could actually get some good movement today. As you can see, they are long the closer call. They are long it, as in they are betting we either get above 6885 or we get below 6855, which is exactly why I then have it marked out here of they're looking to get above 6885 or below 6855. Someone out there, this is a rare style of bet. We do not see this that often. Someone out there is basically placing a bet of, I don't know if we're going to have a bullish day or a bearish day, but they are betting on a decent size movement, like actually a legitimate size movement. We are currently trading at 6881, which makes the closer bet a little bit more reasonable, but who knows? Maybe it gets rejected right there. I just need to point this out. We don't see this bet that often. Someone is betting on we're either pushing above 6885 and we're closing clearly above it, or we will be pushing below 6855 and we will be closing below it. So generally, I show you these bounds of we're looking to close within this region. Today, it is the opposite. We're looking to close specifically outside of the region. Doesn't matter if it's above or below, this player will get paid, but they do not think we will be closing out the day between 6885 and 6855. They are specifically looking on a range pushy type of a day. So I want to put that on your radar, just because when you pair that together with the fact that there's not much stability, we know it's kind of a frothy week, if you will, and we have the FOMC meeting. Just want to put that out there that we're looking at some moves today. We are definitely looking at some moves. And on that note, I have 1 minute to get these charts exactly how they should be. I'll show you this in a second. You know what we should do? I should put up Broadcom. What other stock are you guys following this morning? Broadcom's already up a nice 3.2%. Palantir was also having a decent move. Nvidia, that's fine. Apple sharing a rare red day. Microsoft recovering a little bit. Tesla's kind of down. They're down. MicroStrategy. All right, we will put up Palantir, Yeah, we'll throw up Palantir because Palantir had a great day on Friday and it's continuing higher. More than happy to switch this out throughout the day. I'm just kind of judging it off of what I saw some of you guys already chit-chatting about. You know what we could actually put up is Netflix, just to see the drama going on over there. Netflix did lose 2.9% on Friday, down another 0.5% this morning. So like I said, more than happy to switch it out throughout the session when we see some high flyers or maybe some super, super low flyers. On that note, dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun. I do want to remind you that this market open is brought to you by Public. I have been partnered up with them for years, and it's for good reason. It is my favorite brokerage for many, many reasons, but the main thing you need to know is it is the only brokerage that I'm well aware of that you get a rebate every single time you trade an options contract. As in, every single time you buy a call, you get paid a rebate. When you sell that call, you get paid a rebate. Same thing with puts. Same things with complex strategies such as iron condors or ratios or calendar spreads. All that stuff, you're actually getting paid even more rebates because you're trading more contracts. So as an options trader or an aspiring options trader, that alone should probably get you interested in it. But I want to let you know, for stock trading, there is no payment for order flow. They have bond trading, actually some of the best UI, UX in the game for bond trading. They have crypto trading. They have high yield accounts. They have retirement accounts. They basically have everything you can need as an active trader. But really what I like most about Public is, in my opinion, this is the brokerage that has proven to have you, the retail traders, back. There's other brokerages that it kind of comes into question of, do they care more about the payment for order flow? Do they care more about the market making internalization? And Public, over the years, has made it abundantly clear that they care about you, the trader, the most. They care about you, the trader, as the main client. So because of that, that's why I like them. And then when I see the rebates, it makes it even better. And then when I see all the advancements that they're making recently, they've been putting a lot of work into their API as in algorithmic trading. You could even use their internal AI to be building out some of your own trading strategies and portfolio management. Really cool. It is free to download. It is free to sign up. Highly recommend you check it out. Use that link pinned to the top of chat and in the description of the video because you'll start out at a higher rebate tier. So like I said, free to download, free to sign up. Use that link. It's pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Shout out to Public. They've been partnered with us for a while. They love the Goonie community, and I know many of you in the community like them. And for those of you who are maybe just thinking about or haven't gotten around to it, like I said, take advantage of the deal. It's pretty much riskless for you to just at least see what the platform is about. And then once you do, I think you're going to like it as much as I do. All right, back to the market. I'm already seeing an alert on MSFT. What is happening there? I should probably type it in right. A little bit of an upside gap fill right there. Microsoft hitting the low from Tuesday, December the 2nd. So it did get hit, and now we have seemingly at this point a 4-day recovery. So potentially a higher low there. I don't like how much it's been getting beaten up recently in terms of an active bullish trade, but on this discount from 555 to 486, I do kind of like the concept of maybe adding a little bit, but really I would love to put a ton of Microsoft in my long-term investment portfolio at this downside gap fill closer to the 400, and there is another one all the way down here to 370. But the closer we get to 400, and I don't even know if it's going to happen, obviously, but I would love to be adding this to my long-term account. Actually, Microsoft and Meta are the two right now that I'm more so Meta at this given price level, that I just want more of in my long-term account. So I know most of the time we're here talking about active trading, but in terms of this discount, I currently like Meta the most, and Microsoft, it's not quite enough of a pullback for me to add it, but it's definitely on my radar. I see someone in chat screaming NVIDIA. What is going there? NVIDIA is getting a little bit of a pop. Interesting. Netflix is getting hit. Avago is looking good. I currently have a live position on Avago and Palantir. I have a bull put credit spread. How are those looking? And in fact, I have them on Public. They have not been filled yet, but they are getting awfully close. If you happen to be in the Goonie Trading Discord, my Palantir trade is 1 cent away from getting filled. Once again, a bull put spread. And on Broadcom, I have a bit more distance to go, but it is already up a nice 50%. So just been selling premium, and actually selling premium recently has been a killer trade just because the market is seemingly waiting to see how things play out with the FOMC results once again this Wednesday. Let me switch up the screen so you can see. Oh, my accounts got fully disconnected. That's interesting. All right. Can I connect back? What happened there? Well, good. Unable to log in. Why? Is anyone else having take profit trader issues? I seemingly cannot log in. Should I check my account over here? I guess before I do that, is anyone else having login like credential issues? Why is this not unable to connect to remote server? Login failed. Is anyone else experiencing a similar issue on TPT as of this morning? No, I'm not. Oh, what's going on with mine? I don't know why mine all just got generically disconnected. I wanted to show you that I haven't traded at all today. I'm still, right now, I did do a request, $2,000 from 15 accounts. That is $30,000, 2 times 15, 30. They're still pending. It's pending. All the accounts are looking good. These started at 50K, and they're all a hair below 80. One is above 81. I don't know why there was so much slippage. And then the other ones are mostly around 79. I do have one lower at 78, whatever reason. So we're already to the point of, like I said, some sizable slippage. But hey, it is what it is. I'm not complaining. So basically up $29,000 on 15 accounts. So I'm feeling pretty good about that right now. And let's hope that I don't mess today up, because I just need another basic trading day in, and I'm basically just either waiting for the approval or the denial on the current pending request. I do have 5 pass tests right here. You can see they already have $3,000 in profit. I just had login issues this morning for the upgrade. So for whatever reason, the upgrade, like I paid that $6 fee to upgrade it from eval to performance. It just hasn't gone through. So it seems like I'm having some sort of, I don't know, weird connection issue today. I'm getting an alert on Tesla. Tesla breaking a recent low after a pretty solid push. I wouldn't say that's the end of the world, but there's now an upside gap fill to 451.66, the low from Friday of last week, and then a potential early warning breakdown at 431, but I wouldn't be concerned until it gets below 406. Early this morning, you could see SPY's under a little bit of pressure, but not much. I mean, where are we at? We're right in this transition zone. Nothing to run home to mom about. Overall, we are just above that red or the green to red movement. On Friday of last week, we closed out at 6,870. We're trading at 73. 75 is a big level. I could show it to you right here. Let me switch over to the net OI. You could see someone sold calls and sold puts at that exact same level. So that is what the node is about here. Just because we have nodes, that doesn't mean they're all contextually the same. Sometimes it is buying calls, selling calls, and that's the difference between positive gamma and negative gamma. So it does tell you a little bit of a different story per level, depending on who's doing the buying and who's doing the selling. But overall, the bounds I care about today is the call debit spread and the put debit spread. I need to stress this. This is very abnormal to what we normally deal with. We normally deal with Captain Condor having call and put credit spreads. Today we're seeing call debit spreads and put debit spreads. So it's literally the exact opposite. But right now, hang on, I just got an alert on Meta. Okay, Meta's trying to go for that breakout. There is a downside gap fill to 648.85, but structurally it's knocking on the door of a breakout right now. There's an upside gap fill all the way to 742.51. Obviously, that would be more of a medium-term swing play, but obviously I just want to point it out. Structurally, technically, upside gap fill 742.51, downside gap fill 648.85. SPY is getting hit this morning. NVIDIA is holding well. Broadcom. NVIDIA is looking good. Meta is good. Google's getting hit. Rumble is down 10 cents, which is 1%. MicroStrategy is actually showing a little bit of a bounce off of all that hecticness from last week. All right, Avago up, down, back up. Palantir up and then back down. NVIDIA up and flat. Apple up and then down. Microsoft straight up. That's just running away. Tesla straight down. Meta pretty much straight up. Google down and now flat. Rumble slightly down. MSTR down or up and then down. AMD up and away. BITX giving a little bit back, but percentage-wise looking good. Qubits up and down. Rigetti up and down. Iron grinding up. SoFi down. Amazon up and flat. Hood grinding down. Oracle all over the map, but nice percentage gain relative to Friday. Oklo getting slightly hit. Open is flat. All right, so we're seeing NVIDIA is looking promising already. Avago intraday, not the most exciting we've seen, but percentage-wise, it's up nice. Palantir giving it back kind of quickly. NVIDIA is holding. Apples are at Apple. So right now, if you're looking for just an intraday bullish position, NVIDIA and Microsoft are right away jumping out to me. Like they're showing some strength. Definitely showing some strength. You have the SPY that's about to give us that green to red test. When I say green to red, it's just, is it above or below the closing value? We were above it. And when I say the closing value, I mean the closing value from the last trading session. So in this particular circumstance, last Friday. But anyway, we were green. We just pushed red. We might be bouncing off of a little bit. Who knows? We're going to be finding out. So just kind of waiting for this test. Let me reload the options flow so we can see what in the world's going on here. Mag 7 is actually getting clearly hit. We had some strength out of the gate the first 3 minutes. Boom. S&P 500, what is going on over here? Also, like directly getting hit. This is actually so perfectly linear. It tells me it's someone with size. Yeah, look at that. Just systematic call selling, 0 DTE call selling, nonstop, right out of the gate. Like they literally gave it 15 seconds. 15 seconds into the trading day, and then boom, 0 DTE call selling like no other. I wouldn't be taking a bullish position until I see this player, whoever's trying to do something here, they're doing it with size, because it's now lasted for 10 minutes. That's a lot of call selling. Now, they might be selling to open, as in putting in a ceiling above, as in it's a brand new position, or they might be selling to close. They might have been swinging calls to today, and now they're just ready to lock in their profits. We don't really know that until the data kind of ends at the end of the day and we see the net changes. All I could tell you is what it's doing to delta in real time, and in real time, we're losing a lot of positive delta, obviously driving price lower. So, and then it actually even led to a flow alert right there. So right out of the gate, it looks like we had a 10-minute algo that was running, and let's see how long that's going to persist. The Mag 7 told a slightly different story. It was actually pumping for the first 3 minutes, and then something within the Mag 7 really got hit. My guess is Apple, because Apple was doing good, and then it started to get hit, and now it's kind of flattening out. With respect to momentum, 5-minute was bullish, it's now bearish. 10-minute was bullish, it's now bearish. 30-minute was bullish, it's now bearish. Looking at the 4-hour, it is remaining bullish, and this is all for the S&P 500. Looking at the NASDAQ, it's neutral. Like it was pushing up, now it's kind of pushing down. Same thing on the 10-minute here. I would say the NASDAQ is kind of indecisive. It's maybe slightly favoring the bears on the 5 and the 10, but if you look at the 30-minute, it's still bullish, and the 4-hour is definitely still bullish. So ES is showing a little bit more weakness. Tech is trying to hold on a bit better. If you ask me, it's mostly indecisive. We already did take out the pre-market high right at market open. We're now almost at the 50% retracement, which is around 766. And then the bottom of the overnight trading session would be down all the way at 700. So for some reason, you're like, hey man, I am really bearish and I'm playing this collapse. What should my target be? I don't know this definitively, but I could tell you with high odds that I would be targeting 700, because it's this nice technical level, psychological level. It is what we saw at 19 o'clock last night. Remember, the futures market opens at 6 p.m. on Sunday. Honestly, I would front run that a little bit if that was my target. I'm not saying I am, because for me, what I care more about is the flow, and I'm just not clearly seeing agreement. I mean, the Mag 7 looks strange. The S&P 500 is straight up bearish. But in terms of momentum, 5, 10, 30 on the S&P 500 have gone bearish, but the NASDAQ is attempting to hold. So to me, that's a mismatch. And when I see these mismatches, yeah, sometimes I trade them, sometimes I get lucky, but I don't necessarily think that that's good decision making. So for me, I'm just going to wait a second. Now, obviously, if you have a different system and it's proven to be net profitable over many trades, hey, have at it. Don't let my lack of trading prompt you to not be trading. I would just campaign for you to stick to your trading plan. And if your trading plan tells you to trade, you should trade. And obviously just do it with appropriate size. But based on my specific trading plan, this is more of a period to wait, because right now I'm just not necessarily seeing, wow, Microsoft is still going. I'm not necessarily seeing like an A+ setup that I would love to be getting into. All right. Well, while we're waiting for market open, I do want to remind you that you have a day and a half left for the current Apex deal. It's 60% off, but then it's only $6 upgrade fee. So you could be all in for $84, $85, and then Take Profit's also running a deal. So just want to let you know about those. The current deals are scheduled to end this week. When are they going to run another deal? Might be immediately, might be a delay. I have no idea. I can let you know that I'm having connection issues though. Let me try to reconnect. Oh, it worked now. All right, so I was having issues getting to my Take Profit, but literally on the third try it worked. So I guess the third time is the charm. So all right, got connected. So I have my 15 evals on Apex, or excuse me, my 15 performance counts. I have my 5 evals, which are already past 53, 53, 53, 53, 53. I passed those on Friday. I just didn't do the upgrade yet. I don't know why I paid the fee, and they're just, I guess, pending in the system. So I don't know. I'm waiting on that. And then on Take Profit, I'm just trading on the evals right now, and they're all up about $1,000. But as you can see, I've made no trades today. Just kind of waiting. Is all my stuff connected? Is my trade copier on? Yes, my trade copier is on. So that's awesome. And I guess I'll just wait. And if I see an opportunity, I'll trade it. And if I see no opportunities today, I'll just do a little scalp trade. So it counts for one of my trading days just for the next payout period. And I will just kind of move on with my life from there. But obviously, shout out to Public. They are the partner of today's show. It is free to download. It is free to sign up. And as soon as you start trading options, you can start earning your rebates. There are no commission fees, no per contract fees on stocks and ETFs. I think it's one of the coolest concepts in the world of retail trading. And if you're not taking advantage of it, well, maybe you should consider. What's happening in the market right now? Not much. We're getting a little bit of a return in the overall market, the SPY and the Qs, to let's call it equilibrium. The SPY is trying to test to see if it really wants. It was green, pushed red right here. Remember, the white horizontal line is the previous closing value. So we're going from green to red, back to green. We're battling it out at that level. The Qs are green, clearly. Like for them to go red, they would have to go below 625.48. Might happen today, but if it's happening, it's not happening anytime soon. It might take, I don't know, maybe after the 30-minute Orbo or something. I don't think we're going to be dipping too much. When I see Microsoft showing this much strength, when I see Nvidia showing this much strength, where's Apple? Apple is starting to bounce back around. So looking at some of the biggest players, Avago is giving some back. Maybe just wants to top off of 400. Palantir is waking up. Nvidia did pop. It's just going flat. Apple is trying to find its footing. Microsoft is a runaway train. Tesla did get hit, finding support at 444, already bouncing $2.50. That at this point, you might want to watch 449 or maybe 450. A little bit of a higher low bounce there on the SPY. That's interesting. A little bit of a higher low bounce there on the SPY. I'm looking at the 1 minute chart at 945, 946. We sold off, we popped. And right here on that wick, we actually put in a higher low right off of that closing value. But then simultaneously, as the SPY started to show strength, actually the NASDAQ took a hit. This is the Mag 7, the options flow for Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Tesla. We popped, we dropped. I believe this was because of Apple. It was because of Apple. And maybe some of the other ones, but Apple clearly getting hit. And then something really popped at 943. And ever since then, we've been going a little bit flat. The S&P 500, we saw a clear bearish flow right out of the gate. A lot of zero DTE call selling. We got sold all the way to 943. So it took, I don't know, 10, 12 minutes. And then since then, we got a little bit of a pop, but the Qs are now taking a hit. I'm seeing a clear, whoa there, Tonto. Whoa there, Scooter. We are dropping today. We are dropping. We just sliced through VWAP like it was no other. The white dash line, this like weird dash, dot dash, that is VWAP, the volume weighted average price. We basically sold to it, overshot it, tried to recover it, rejection, and we've now puked, and we're coming up on that level. Remember before when I said, hey, if you need a level, if you're like really bearish, a natural level is the overnight trading session extremes. And in this case, since we were trending down, that's why I called this out. So You could see here at 7:10 p.m. last night, East Coast. So an hour into the futures market open. Futures market trades on the Globex session. It's just more trading hours than normal equities. But anyway, the low was made at 7:10 p.m. Eastern, and the low is roughly around 700. So for some reason, you took this breakdown trade. I like it taking it off a little bit of a front run, anywhere between, I don't know, 720 and 710. So if you wanted to be really conservative, you probably could have taken it off at 25. Maybe it keeps going. Here's a look at the flow. Options flow still getting hit. Mag 7, maybe a little bit of a recovery. I'm curious to see how this is going to go. Could be a fake out. Look at where the Q stopped. See how these are magical levels. It's almost as if people intentionally target the green to red move, the red to green move. Look exactly where the Qs bounce. Within a cent. Yeah, literally, was it 2 cents away? So we were within 2 cents of the closing value on the NASDAQ. Folks, this is why you want to mark out those key levels. And when I say key levels, the previous trading sessions, high, low, and close. A lot of people even do the weekly session, high, low, and close. I think that's pretty important as well. So you could do the daily, the weekly, and then on top of that, I like to look at the major options levels. But you're going to start to see, and like there is a game of psychology in here. A lot of people, because they've seen it react to it before, they then react to it in the future, and then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Because so many people have noticed that the market bounces off of the previous closing value, they throw in buy orders there, and then the more people that do that, it ends up buying, and then thus you bounce, and then more people see it, and you can see how from there it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So that actually would have been a pretty nice buy. So putting that together with the overnight trading session low, somewhere in here was a nice place to capture. I'm a little surprised we didn't shoot a little bit closer, like maybe even 10 points closer. But hey, sometimes that is the market for you, right? Options flow, Mag 7 is still kind of trending down. SPY did get hit flat. 5-minute is bearish, 10 minutes bearish, 30-minute technically it closes in 8 minutes, but when it does, that will be bearish. 5 minutes bearish, 10 minutes bearish, 30-minute is testing at this line, 765. 765. All right, hang on. Oh, why is my mouse messed up? How are we doing this? Mag 7 is still trending down. SPY is almost at a delta low. SPX, it is red, finding a bit of support off the high value from Thursday of last week at 66. The intraday low is 61, and the low value on Friday was 58. Oh, brother. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Oh, brother, oh, mother. Oh, brother, oh, mother. Here's your look at Bookmap. The current point of control is 770. We have some buyers here at 45, some buyers here at 32. Where's VWAP? VWAP is up here at 92, 93. A lot of buyers here at 710. Sorry if my big head is blocking it, but this deep red right here, that is 25,710. A lot of sitting buy orders right there. A lot of sitting buy orders right there. All right, point of control, 770. Once again, VWAP is up here, 92, 93. That's this white line. I'm seeing... What is this recent low? This recent low is closer to 45. 45. Interesting. 45. That was this right here. Some buyers did step in. Well, let's see. There were sellers at 85. They just pulled that order. It'll be an interesting battle. Interesting battle. Here's a look at flow. Mag 7 trending down. S&P 500 trending down, but over the last minute catching a little bit of a bid as it's battling it out at this now red to green move. NVIDIA is giving some back. Tesla's going a little bit flat. Avago, Palantir was looking good. NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft is attempting to hold. Tesla, Meta was looking good, getting hit now intraday. Google, maybe a weird quad bottom. What in tarnation? What's Vol doing today? How's the VIX looking? VIX is kind of all over the map right now. Kind of all over the map. Well. Apple, Tesla. Oh, brother. Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, mother, oh, brother. What are we doing? What's the flow looking like right here? Kind of flattened out on the Mag 7, picking up on the SPY a little bit. Overall, we're trending down, but from 952 over the past 3 minutes, maybe a weird turn right now. Is it still mostly call? Okay, so this is strange. No one's bought calls yet. It's more of all that put buying has now turned into a little bit of put selling, so maybe some people capturing profits there. But overall, the thing moving it is the 0 DTE call selling. How do I want to play it? That's the real question. Any hardcore thoughts from the peanut gallery over here? What's the peanut gallery up to? Are you guys feeling bullish, bearish? Are you going long, going short, or are you waiting? What is the old peanut gallery up to? The old peanut gallery, Netflix minus 3.4. I would assume it's from the hostile bid from Paramount Skydance. That's going to be an interesting story to see what's going on from the business side, but also from the administration with the antitrust. Bullish every day. I mean, in the long run, pays. Sitting in my hands, Chico is in control. Waiting, but Microsoft looking good. Calls to the moon. How's the earthquake going to affect the market? I didn't know there was an earthquake. Where was that? I need an adult. You and me both, Fuzzy. You and me both. You and me both. Bullish in 20 minutes. Well, what's weird about this current movement is like once in a while we're joking, but we're joking because we're kind of serious. If we're talking about the 10 a.m. reversal today, what would the reversal be today? Because we're generally down, but recently we've popped. So it feels, Japan, 7.2. Wow. Going sideways till Wednesday? Could be. I do find the call and put debit spreads today interesting, the 0 DTE debit spreads. Someone's either they're looking for a push on SPX above 6885 or below 6855. I do find that interesting because we just don't see those types of sizable bets on a common basis. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, mother. All right, so we're back to, on NQ, we're back to kind of this like breakdown level at 45. I can show it to you best on Bookmap. See how we initially dipped to 45, we bounce off of it, we hit it again, and every time we're tagging it, there is a bounce. I mean, hell, that's a 15-point bounce there. Remember, this yellow horizontal line is the point of control, the POC. That's where most volume's been traded. And then the white horizontal line where my mouse is up here, that is the VWAP, volume weighted average price. You can see that there's a lot of sitting sell orders just above 800, and there's a lot of sitting buy orders just around 710 to the south side. I wouldn't mind playing that if I could get in with reasonable risk. I would not mind playing that. All right, I am in. Let me show you my play. As you can see, I am short at 58 and my stop is already at break even and I'm targeting 708. So worst case scenario is I'm out for break even. Best case scenario is I make $1,000 per account and I am done on the day. So once again, I am short at 58. My stop is in. I actually kind of want to move it to 50, 20, 40, because I kind of want to make $50 at minimum. Can I move it to 56? I might just move it to 56 because that's $40. If it hits 56, there's a high chance it hits 58 anyway. All right. So technically I'm in the money. So I'm making a little bit of green to pay off commissions and whatnot. And it's either going to come back and tag me for break even, which is the more statistically likely case just because that's a closer price value. But maybe, just maybe I get lucky and it flushes from here, never hits my value, dumps all the way down to, once again, I'm targeting this level. I see a bunch of sitting buy orders right there. It's right above this key psychological level at 700. Maybe it hits. I don't know if it will. I don't know if it won't. All I know is I'm completely protected. I am risking nothing. There's no risk. There was risk when I got into the play. I got into the play around 952. Maybe there's a weird jolt here at 10 that knocks me out. And if it happens, it happens. I don't know what to tell you, but all I can tell you is my worst case scenario is still green. My best case scenario is even more green. If this dumps below 34, if this dumps below 21, I could probably move my stop to 50, guaranteeing 8 points, that's nice, $160. But this is it. I find that I know I'm always on my soapbox saying this, but it just so happens over the weekend, I watch all these videos of these wannabe gurus and gurus attempting to pitch everyone like their system, their holy grail system, as if they could predict the market. They can't predict the market. No one can predict the market. The best people in this game in Wall Street cannot predict the market. It's all just a game of odds and risk management and leverage control. That's what this is. And for me, especially when it comes to the world of trading futures, especially in the sim to funded world, what you see on the screen right now, I find that because there's no pattern day trading, it is so advantageous to move your stop to break even. Like, remember, there is no pattern day trading, no PDT. You can get in and out of as many positions as you want in a day. So when it goes a little bit in your favor, no harm, no foul to go into break even. Oh, I don't like that bounce. Someone stepped in right there. What is this high? 53. I'm moving it down a little bit. Matt, do you have any opinion on Gareth Soloway? Came across him recently. I have no idea who that is. There's so many wannabe.
Order filled.
Yeah. All right, I'm out. Apparently slippage hit me because for a second there, they were all up $50, which is really what I wanted on the day. One of them made 81. Some of these made 20. So that was some clear slippage, unfortunately for me. But hey, whatever. Green's green. And I protect myself because now if it keeps going, I would be in the red. Look at that. I secured green. If it keeps going, okay, whatever. I protected myself instead of blowing out. And then if it turns around, if this is a little bit of a fake out and all of a sudden we get rejected at VWAP or something like that, guess what, folks? I could always get right back in. So the real downside to this is if you just barely get wicked out and then it goes back in your favor anyway, and then you're forced to get a worse fill. But that's just an aspect of trading. There's going to be no methodology that just forever doing it is always the best option for every single trade. No, there is just going to be an aspect of variance, an aspect of luck. Like, yes, that does exist, and you just have to accept it. TPT having issues on my end for order fills. Yeah, I had issues logging into the account, so it seems like I don't know, maybe it's a Cloudflare issue or something like that, but I even had some issues this morning. So anyway, just to review this trade, I have now one trade on the day. Like that's all I did. I gave it a shot. I went short. It pumped up, got rejected. We're below VWAP. And I went short. It went up a little bit. Maybe that was a better short over here. Whatever. I liked it. And it just came up. I protected myself, and that's all you can do. I had a non-0% shot that it would have vomited all the way down to my level, and I could have got that money. I had good reason for it. This is just one of those things where, nope, this one came across me, or it came against me, and I still got out green, and I moved on with my life. I am interested in this short right here. I'm seeing the active double top that is currently going on. The only reason I'm not taking it is we're too close to VWAP, and I've seen it way too many times where I get the signal to either go short or long, but because it got close, like a lot of people love to target these levels. So this, like, if you're shorting there from a structural standpoint, I don't mind it. You're shorting the double top, you're playing it down into the trend line, you're playing for the break. And hey, if you took it, I hope it happens for you. But I don't have the exact stats on it. This is a little bit more anecdotal. There's too many times where I'm in a position, I took the trade, but I knew it was close to VWAP, and then it goes up to VWAP and gets rejected there. So I still get blown out because somehow it goes past my like risk anyway, because in this point, I'd be risking 81. So if I took this short in here, let's just say I have a short at 70. My risk is 11 points away. It's at 81, but VWAP's up at 88. So even that, like, it could quickly tag it, technically blowing me out, but like, and then from there it reverts and dumps anyway. So like, when it gets this close, when my risk is on the wrong side of like key levels, I tend to just wait. So I'm seeing people saying short entry here. I just don't agree. Just because, like, yes, let's call it a 50% chance that you are right and it drops from here. Awesome. Like that, I fully agree. Let's just give it a 50% shot. The other for 50% shot is it goes up, you get wicked out on it, and then it just barely tags this level and then pukes from there. I just don't want to take that risk. So like this game, I mean, I literally made a video. It's coming out like, hey, this is basically a 50-50 game, and that is the game. But sometimes you have to be kind of clued into other levels that it's seemingly a lot of the market likes to pay attention to. So I was not knowing this next bar, or really honestly not knowing whatever any of these bars are going to be. Sometimes you just have to have that context of like, but if it goes, basically always just assume worst case scenario. And in this case, if I were to short there, the worst case scenario would have been if it popped up and I get knocked out and then it gets rejected there and vomits anyway. Obviously, if it pops and keeps going, okay, that's fine. And then if I'm in it and it goes in my favor anyway, that's fine. So think of the worst case scenario and ask yourself, if that were to happen, like, are you willing to accept that moment, like, right there, like right then? And in that particular instance, even though I think that was a legitimate double top to play, just the context of how close it was to VWAP, it was a risk I was unwilling to take. But let's say you're paying attention to a different time frame. Let's say you're using, I don't know, astrology, whatever. Maybe for you, this was a legitimate point to get in. Okay, cool. Stick to your plan. Because I'm here sharing my trading framework and methodology, that doesn't mean it's appropriate for everyone. Of course, there are things that will work for all traders, such as keep your risk in control. That's going to be an aspect of any successful trading system. But the nuances of when I choose to get in and choose to get out, the nuances of why I skip certain trades, that is where it becomes a little bit more personalized to you as the trader. So once again, just because certain things work for me, it's not going to work for everyone. And just because certain things don't work for me, well, maybe you can make it work. Because once again, we all approach the market with a particular framework. And I'm by no means saying mine is the best. In fact, I know it's not the best. But there are certain key concepts, like just axioms of good trading, and one of those is risk management. So in my case, when it comes to, okay, what is risk management, I ask myself, what is the worst case scenario, which is why I skip this trade right here, because the worst case scenario is I get wicked out, it goes a couple points, and then it comes in my favor anyway. So why not just wait for that scenario to no longer exist? That's how I'm approaching it. My TPT connection is not getting data to NinjaTrader despite having internet. CQG might be having problems. I was having similar issues this morning. I just disconnected and reconnected multiple times, and eventually one of the connections did go through. I am seeing weakness on the SPY, and the Qs are showing relative strength. The SPY is pushing on this lower level right here, maybe a potential triple, quadruple bottom. The Qs are showing, like I said, a bit more strength. So the SPY's already broke this upsloping trend line, and the Qs are, as of now, holding it. NVIDIA's taking a bit of a hit. It had strength this morning, kind of seemingly giving some of that back. Microsoft is actually showing, Microsoft is the standout intraday success story right now. Apple's not really doing anything. NVIDIA gave it back. Palantir's coming back fighting. So Palantir's coming back fighting for sure. Microsoft is good, which I feel like we haven't been talking about Microsoft at all recently. So hats off to Microsoft for doing something with its life. VWAP is all the way up there at 86. I still feel it might just be a VWAP test and puke. It might be the old VWAP test and Pruk. If you don't know what VWAP is, that's the volume weighted average price. So basically you look at all the buying throughout the day, and you, from there, based on volume and the price that the trade was executed, you can get an idea of the average entry for all trading participants. Of course, some are in above, some are in below, but it's just the average value weight adjusted. Obviously, it's more impactful for someone to buy 100 contracts rather than one. So it's the volume weighted average price. And right now, the average trader has traded at 87. Generically, it's thought to be bullish above, bearish below. I'm not so sure that I buy that concept. From a lot of the back testing I've done, if I add in that filter of VWAP of like only being bullish above or only being bearish below, it doesn't improve it. I'm not saying it makes it worse. I'm just saying as a filter of like, hey, I have a strategy and here are my bullish trades, here are my bearish trades. If I add in an additional filter of only take the bullish ones above VWAP and only take the bearish ones below VWAP, I've never found a measurable improvement. I'm not saying it makes it worse. And hey, maybe for your strategy, it is awesome. But for my generic strategies like EMA crossovers or orbital breakouts, this, that, the other thing, when I add in that additional filter of VWAP, I haven't gotten any like clear massive improvement. But once again, that's just me and my studying. Maybe for you and your strategy, it is the final filter you need to be like massively profitable. None of the strategies I use are gaining much. They're not losing much. It just seems to not have much of an impact. But maybe because my stuff is, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit too short term, too quick. Maybe, I don't know. This could be a nasty bounce. Yeah. There's a non-0% chance this could be a nasty bounce. There's also a non-0% chance that this could be a nasty sell-off. You don't know. Double bottom with higher highs. Well, I see kind of it depends on what you're looking at. I could call out this triple top. I could call out this triple bottom. I mean, right now, what this is we had a clear movement, a reversion of 66% reversion, and now we're range bound. So this is more so consolidation. So we're waiting for the next leg. Is the leg a breakout leg or is it a breakdown leg? I don't know. Thought VWAP was a dance move. In certain circles, it is. In certain circles, it definitely is. I am watching this bottom right here, and then this bottom right here. This bottom that we saw at 949, I believe, is the intraday low on the NASDAQ. Obviously, now let's review my trade right here. The little pink magenta thing, that was my short entry, and the blue was my short exit. I was protecting myself. If I held it to this point, I would be back green, and in fact, I'd be more green than where I got out. However, think about the smoke I had to take in between that. It went up to 80. I would be down by 30 points. I'd be down. I had to have an unrealized drawdown at $600 when if I wanted to, I could have just gotten back in at this short and then probably knocked out a break even. I could have gotten in here at 60 and right now the stop would be at break even. I just specifically to the world of futures trading and very specifically to the world of SIMDA funded trading, in my opinion, and I guess my success that I have to show for it is $30,000 net profit on 15 accounts, which is $450,000. And that took me from October 21st until this day. So basically, a month and a half, a month and 3/4, I've made $450,000. And remember, there's another 30K in there that I already took out. So I made $480,000 in about just under 2 months. And how did I do that? I think for me, the main way I was able to pull that off was just extreme risk management. There's no pattern day trading, especially in this SIMDA funded world, but there's no pattern day trading in futures trading. I'm telling you, it's going to make your life so much easier of a lot of the time, a high percentage of your trades, if you could just take all the risk off the table. If you're taking all your risk off the table, it inherently can't be that bad. Inherently, it cannot be that bad. Yeah, maybe you go up a lot and then it comes back and knocks you out for break even. But your account is just where your account was. At least you're not going into a hole. If most of your situations are either your account growing or staying flat, you're winning the race. The issues are when you start taking account hits and then they add up and add up and add up. But like if you just get into that mindset of saying, okay, I know I should move my risk, and I do it all the time. How many times have I streamed to you folks where I'm like, oh, I know I should move my risk, and then I end up just not moving it? Those are the days where you're like, oh man, like why are you doing that? Like, was that really a good decision? And of course, it's because you want every trade to be that nice, high-flying, awesome, profitable trade. I get it. Like that's just the psychology of trading. Of course, every single time you execute a trade, that's what you want it to do. But remember, half the time, it's not going to do that. In this trade right here, had I held on, I would be up nicely. I was short at 58. It is trading almost at 28. I'd almost be up $600. But there was a non-0% chance that right here, this double top, triple top, what if it wasn't a triple top? What if it just kept going to VWAP? What if it ripped above VWAP and went all the way up? Then I just have a large loser. Like, to me, the risk reward, I think there's too much focusing on the woulda, coulda, shoulda of how good the reward could be. Yes, am I sitting here saying, hey, Matt, damn, like, what are you doing, man? That you're up $400. You're up almost $500. Like, that's a good day right there. But was it worth the risk? Because eventually, since no one's a perfect trader, eventually variance on the negative side is going to come for you, and that bad beat will happen. So in my mind, what is trading, like true trading? True trading is just basically behaving and making decisions in a manner that you're never putting yourself at risk of that big variance level blowout. Like, this is a marathon, and the longer you trade without proper discipline, without proper risk management, the longer you do it, you are inherently just getting closer and closer to that blowout trade, because no one's perfect. There's no such thing as perfect trading. It simply does not exist. But what you can do is have perfect risk management. That's what I think we should all be striving for, is just, did you make the perfect decisions? That doesn't mean you make money on every trade. It's just, given the current set of data, were you always making the proper decision? I think that's the way to do it. And this is a bummer. I got in. Inherently, it was right. I had another opportunity to get in. It would have been out for break even. I had a third opportunity to get in. I didn't take it just because I really thought we were going to VWAP, and now I missed this trade. But that's okay. Like that shit happens, man. It happens. It happens. How's the trip to PA? Awesome. I got to hang out with my family, got to hang out with friends, actually even extended family this time around. It was great. Piper was in the car, and I don't know how many of you have cats and travel with cats in your car. I need to get like gabapentin or whatever it is that calms cats down, because she's not stressed. She just gets so car sick and ends up vomiting everywhere. I ended up spending like an hour or two cleaning out my car yesterday because there was somehow cat vomit everywhere. If you name a surface in a car, in my car, that particular surface had vomit in it. It was crazy. Matt, on Tradeovate, you can create an order opening trades, still learning the platform. Yeah, you could do that. Well, I do it through Ninja. I'm sure it's possible on Tradeovate, but I do mine through Ninja. And yeah, you can set up those like interesting, more complex exit orders, whether for your stop or for your profit taking. All right, a little bit of so we're currently bouncing off of the green to red move on the Qs down here in the bottom left, which I believe I'm blocking, sorry. Over here, you can see we're double bottoming right at that green to red move. Closing value on the Qs is 65.48, and the SPY is seemingly going for its low value from Friday at 684.58. And let me remind you of, is that player still in? That player is still in. All right, so this is getting a little bit saucy here. So we have a decent amount of negative gamma. We're at a hedge wall at 6860. 55 is the bottom put debit spread right here. They are betting on either pushing below 55 or above 85. This is all negative gamma, which remember is slippery price action. And then if we do crack below 55, there's support at 50, 40. And actually, this is a new play. This is a call credit. No, let me just double check. I don't want to speak incorrectly. Yeah, this is a call debit spread, as in they think we'll be above 25. So this is such a weird setup today. In aggregate, it might be one player, it might be multiple players, I don't know. But in aggregate, there are bets that we're either going above 85, below 55, and then there's a bet that we will conclude the day above 25. So 3 separate bets. The first one is an either or above 85 or below 55, and then the other one is above 25. What a strange structure we have today. You are not in the live section of my YouTube app. They don't like you on YouTube. Oh, I'm well aware they don't like me. Sometimes I don't like me, so I can't even necessarily blame them. Sometimes I don't even like me. So, if you don't like yourself, how do you expect a tech company who likes to infringe upon free speech to like you? Charlie is my cat, no food or water before leaving. She rides in the cat carrier and it works pretty good. Yeah, Piper breaks out of her cat carrier and just goes haywire. She just like sprints around in the moving vehicle. It's a whole thing. What time is it? It is 10:20. Why does this look different? Oh, brother. What am I doing? What am I doing today? What in tarnation? We got rejected at 50. We have a lot of buyers here at 710 and 700 flat. So they're in about 20 points below. 710 and 700 flat. Interesting. All right, how are we looking with respect to momentum? 5-minute bearish, 10-minute bearish, 30-minute bearish, 4-hour bullish. 5-minute bearish, 10-minute bearish, 30-minute bearish, 4-hour bullish. So the smaller time frames, the shorter time frames, 5, 10, 30, 5, 10, 30, all currently favoring the bears. Oh, brother. How's the options flow? SPY is pretty much down. Mag 7 is pretty much down. Yeah, I probably should have taken that short. I just didn't. I guess I'm feeling a little gun shy for some weird reason, but I should have taken this short. Probably in here at 10:09. This was a beautiful short. This failed right here because your argument is like, oh, just a triple top and that's your risk. So I was letting you know about VWAP, but maybe I'm doing hindsight bias because it worked out. I guess I would have felt really smart if it did that and then all of a sudden kept going and then got rejected. Then I would have felt super smart. So I don't know.
Order submitted.
Oh, all right. We know there's people at 710 and 700, right? Is that where they are? No, we don't need this. They are selling the New York Stock Exchange this morning. The tick data is hitting low. Where are we at here? Okay. So $7.10 and 7. Yeah, these are the key levels. This is the name of the game. There is hundreds worth of contracts have attempted to be bought. 710, 708, 700 flat. We'll see how the game plays out. We'll see how the game plays out. I wonder if they're going to pull the orders, add to it, let them get filled. Remember, just because they're sitting pending orders, and on this side, since it's below, they're buy orders, just because they're pending now does not mean they have to hold. They could add to it, they can remove from it, they can completely pull it. It's just sitting pending orders. We didn't technically hit it yet. Am I still on the wrong side? I always forget to switch myself. My apologies. This is what we're watching, though. This is what we're watching, kids, right here. 109 contracts are attempted to be bought at 710, and then there's a good 120 right at 700 flat. So this is the 10-point region that I'm curious about. Oh, we're starting to fill a couple. Just so you guys know, I moved my stop to break even. So if it vomits, awesome. I get it. If it bounces, no harm, no foul. My stop is break even. Trying to practice what I preach, which I think sometimes is the hardest thing. As the world's leading trading streamer. Crack it, crack it, crack it like a nutcracker, brother. Smash it. Smash it. All right, now the question is it going to bounce? We're right at that level. We're right at it. What are we doing? Decisions. They all got to fill. Are we going to bounce? If it bounces, it's totally going to knock me out for break even. I was going to say even the slightest bounce is going to knock me out, but maybe I get lucky. I am short and my stop's at 21.50. So once again, I am not risking any money. I've already moved my stop to break even. Do I wish I just had this short from 63? Of course I wish I had that, but alas, that is not me. Alas, that is not me. What are we doing? What are we doing? Is it going back? We're watching this key level at 700. Doesn't want to reevaluate it. There are some buyers coming in at 6. We're going down to 690. I saw some right here. They moved it to 680. 680. All right. Buyers are stacking up at 680 right now on NQ. Let's see how it reacts to that. All right. Maybe I should be smart. That's 712. All right, your boy is 7 points in the money, so I'm making 140 bucks no matter what. Hey, money's money. I'll take it. I'll take it, Tony. So worst case scenario, I make 140 bucks, and if I want, I could call it a day there. We'll see. It's interesting to see. Okay, so they keep walking these orders down. They were at 710, then 700, 780. Now they're popping up at 680, 690, 680. Now I'm seeing them at 670 where my cursor is. They keep walking this down. They're even flashing as I think there's going to be a little bit of a mini puke here.
Order filled.
Oh. All right. Anyway, I made my money. I capped myself at $1,000 because I'm waiting for the payout approval. So I think it actually keeps going from here, but whatever. I made my 15 grand. At a certain point, maybe you have to ask yourself, are you being a little bit too greedy? So, hey, it worked out. My first trade, it was break even. It would have been better, but hey, even with this, I had controlled risk. I quickly moved it to break even. I used the tools at my disposal, and then luck was a little bit on my side. So boom, 15K locked in on my performance accounts. So now I think am I officially up $500,000? So they're all up 30K because they started at 50, they're at 80. But remember, I already got approved for 2K. So basically they're all up 32K, 32 times 15. Nope, I am not. One more, if I have one more good day, I'll officially be up $500,000. One more good day. Damn, that's close. We're almost getting there. Damn. One more good day. And technically I'm up $480,000. I'm up $32,000 on 15 accounts. That's 480. Yeah. Almost there. One more good day and we're up $500,000. And these accounts, my first trading day on these accounts was October 21st. So we're about a month and a half in. Hey, Matt, do you use a trade copier on NinjaTrader to trade multiple accounts? I do. I do not do those all manually. I trade one account. And then what I did today was I copied the same trade to 14 other accounts. And then on my take profits, I cross-traded it to micros instead of minis. So these ones, why is this value half? Because instead of trading one mini on all of these, on these ones, I traded 5 micros, which is half the size, hence why I have half the return. So of the $500,000 of simulated money, what percent can you reward yourself with? 100% if the accounts live long enough. I need to follow all the other rules. And if I follow those rules, I could take it all. But I just need to follow the other rules. So basically the way it works is per individual account, like right here, I have one individual account highlighted on a $50,000 account, and it does change based on your account size, but I have a $50,000 account. You can take out $2,000 every 8 trading days if you follow the other rules. So every 8 trading days, if I trade those days, you have to have at least 8 trading days. You can request out the max of 2,000. And after you do that 6 times, then from there, you can take out all the leftover. So for me, you have to have 6 approved payouts. And remember, the max is 2K. So for me, I only have 1. My second one is pending right now, and I've been denied on 2 others. But you have to have 6 approved payouts, and the max on those is 2K. After you have 6 approved payouts, then from there, you can take the other money. So to answer your question, can I take all the money? Yes, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. Like you have to do it multiple times, and then eventually, if you do it enough times, then you could take out all the money. Does that make sense, or am I not explaining it properly? So the answer is yes, but I need to hit all this other criteria before I do that. I thought it was 3 payouts. No. If you make a lot of money, they might reach out to you early and allow you to do it, but that is not a common case. If you are really and I'm not saying my accounts, which are up 30K each, it's not even close. If I were up $100,000 per account, they might be reaching out to me. Some people, but that's a case-by-case basis, and by no means is it normal. For the average person, for most of us, it is 6 payouts. After the 6th payout, you can take all the money. How's it taxed? It is not taxed as trading. You are taxed as a contractor. So income as a contractor, at least that's how I'm taxed. I am not a lawyer. I am not a CPA, but where I am, where I live, the country, the state, the locality, I am taxed as a contractor. So it is not capital gains. It is income, contractor income. It made sense, but is it worth the hassle with those rules? I think so, because if you think about it, so on these 15 right here that I have highlighted, these 15, think about my all-in cost. My all-in cost, I believe, was a $100 upgrade fee, so that's 1.5K. Let's say the test was 50. So let's just, for the sake of math, say it was $150 per one, and I have 15. So I'm in for $2,250. $2,250 gives me exposure to trading capital worth $750,000. So I'm in for 2.2. That's my credit card bill, $2,250. I'm allowed to trade capital worth up to $750,000. And right here, I've already been paid out $30K. So I'm already above break even because they've already sent me $30,000. It's already hit my bank account. So right now I'm already clear. Let's just call it $28,000. Like I'm already clear. So anything past this is gravy. Like I'm already good to go. So who paid those $50K to create it? I paid for it. You put it on your credit card bill. Yeah, contractor 1099. Sorry, that's how I refer to it, as a contractor, but they just send you a 1099. So it's just income. It's not capital gains. Let me go to the 5-minute on all this. Today, Mag 7 got crushed again till 10:30, kind of going flat from there. S&P 500 showing the exact same thing, but the delta is getting hit. We're right at that low value. He meant, how is the 50 initially funded through the company? Well, it's not, because it's simulated trading. It's paper money. It's fake money. It's not. No one is putting a real $50,000 in an account and then giving you 15 of those, or you could go up to 20. It's simulated, paper trading. It's basically a mini game within the world of trading that is fake trading. But if you do well fake trading, you can actually get real payouts. And I know that's crazy, because it kind of is crazy. And this particular ecosystem has become really popular over the past 2 to 3 years. But before it didn't really exist. But why they do this is because they bet that enough of us are bad traders that they might as well just take all your quote unquote commissions and keep it all because you're not going to get payouts anyway. So in their mindset, like to my understanding, like how this business works is they looked around and said, okay, most people suck at trading. Imagine if they didn't actually trade in the market, and then when they blow out, we just keep their commissions. And if they do well, we'll just pay them out anyway because it's so rare. Funded accounts are still simulated, correct. Funded accounts are still simulated. On certain firms, well, technically on all firms, you're supposed to eventually be able to go to live, and all the reputable ones do have a pathway to go to live, but most people choose not to do that. Most people choose to just take all of their money and then go fund their own live account rather than using a live account in partnership with one of these firms. It's basically a casino. Yeah, that's what the market is. Why do you think I start off the show? Welcome to the world's largest casino. Same people who made the Sims games. Yeah, it's actually the same company. So Sims, like if you played Sims 1, Sims 2, Sims 3, Sims 4, Sims 5, even Roller Coaster Tycoon, I believe that they have a partnership there. That is all the same company. But if you think about it, is this not just a roller coaster? I mean, do you know how we all played Roller Coaster Tycoon and Zoo Tycoon? Or, like, if you really, like, if you kind of squint at it, are you noticing any differences whatsoever? They're all made in partnership together. Zoo Tycoon, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Sims 1 through 18. Do they kick you out of the casino if you make too much money? Yes. If you make too much money on a big payout, like you know how I was saying after 6 payouts, you can request it all. If you run your accounts up, I don't know the exact number it falls off, but from what I've seen, it seems to roughly be $1 million. Don't quote me on that. I'm just kind of talking anecdotally. If you get $1 million payout, those people are not invited back to be using Apex again. And that's actually seemingly true on a lot of these firms, but also like a casino, if you're counting cards, they don't want your business. If you're winning too well at poker, if you're winning too well at anything, the casino has the option to no longer give you business. And I guess the best example of that truly is blackjack, because there's a way that when you have an edge, if you're betting right, blah, 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 it's just a game of math. Same thing here. If you take them for too much money, like a casino, it's a private business. They don't have to offer everyone business. They don't have to give it to you. And there are many traders in this space that's kind of how they're known. They just got a big payout from Apex, and the Apex sends them the money like a casino. They'll give you the money, but then they just don't allow you to sit down and play with them anymore. Matt, don't they ask you to be a partner and trade real money? They do, but most people deny it because why? After you have the payout, you're already flush with cash. Why take a partner when you could just trade your own account? So they do. From what I've heard, once again, this is more of the rumor mill, but when you get a big payout, they ask you to partner up for that same amount of money. But then the person's, well, what's my other option? And the other option is just them giving you that money. So it's just, your option is trade the same amount of money or trade the same amount of money with a partner. So most people are like, just give me the money and I'll do what I want in my life. That's what I understand, but I believe it's taken a case-by-case basis. So I don't know, if you get to that level and maybe you pitch them a bigger concept of like, no, but like, what if we do X, Y, Z? To my understanding, they're receptive, and it truly is a case-by-case thing, but there's not many people. It's below 10 people every calendar year who get $1 million. So that's why it's case-by-case. Like we're talking, there's probably tens, if not hundreds of thousands of people who attempt to do this. And the amount of people who get paid over $1 million per year, it is literally like 10 or less. And that's when I say it's a case-by-case basis. Like, if maybe you want to pitch them a better concept, a worse concept, something like that, that's it. Matt, I bet they mirror your trades. Maybe some, like they if you look at your data agreements, they're allowed to do it. And when I say they, I don't mean Apex. I mean Apex and Take Profit Trader and Funded Futures Network and Tradeify. They're all allowed to mirror you. Like we all agreed to that. Now, do they actually mirror you? Probably not, because remember, most traders end up blowing out. So they're not going to probably do it. But technically they can. Now, do they? I don't know. I've never worked at one of these firms. I don't know how the like internals all work. But they technically can. So maybe they do that. Maybe they identify the best traders and they take the trade in the actual market with 10x size. Maybe they notice some traders on a tear And just to hedge out their own books, they take the same trade. So just in case they get a big payout, they have the actual money to pay them out. Maybe there's a certain threshold after $500,000 where they're like, okay, that trader from here on out, we're taking the exact same trades. So if they make money, we already have the money to pay them out. Maybe, or maybe they do it at a certain ratio. Like, I'm sure there's complex data science things going on in the background for them to, like, I mean, we're talking about the biggest companies are probably worth billions of dollars doing this. Like Apex, if I had to guess, is a multi-billion-dollar company, as in they have the resources to go hire the best quants and data scientists to figure out the best way for them to hedge out their own book. I wouldn't be surprised about that at all. Sorry, someone said they can't see the QQQ because of my fat head. My apologies. My apologies. I can't wait for Apex to kick me out of their casino. Hey, if that happens to you, that it means one of two things. It either means you got a massive payout or you gamified your individual accounts and played them off of each other, and then they found you not technically cheating, but breaking their rules. So they make money on the losers and the winners? Most likely. They definitely make money on the losers. The question is, how much money do they make off the winners? But they don't really publicize that, so I can only make guesses. I don't definitively know. My eyeballs hate it when Matt is on the wrong side. Yeah, my apologies. I'm a piece of shit. I'm about to find out. Only $999,000 to go. But that hairline on point, am I right? Actually, the way I'm looking today, you guys can't see it, but I have a giant pimple right here. I don't know if it's coming through, but I don't like that I'm angled this way because you guys are seeing a giant zit, which is embarrassing, the fact that I'm 31 years old dealing with fucking adult acne, because apparently you're supposed to wash your face or something. Apparently. Are we catching a bid? We are not catching a bid at all. Holy guacamole. I guess we're taking a breather today, folks. I guess we are taking a breather today. Huh. All right. It's about that time of the day where Piper is pippity popping, firing off. All right. If you're in the Discord, I'll get Piper up for you. I will get Piper up for you. What is today's date? Today is the 8th. All day. All day? All day? All day? All day? Whoa, did not want to do that. My apologies. To December 8th. Yes. Okay. Oh, I guess now that Piper's in there, maybe I should be doing this myself. Maybe I should take a trade. Hey, maybe I should join in on the fun. But do I want to? More sun will help with the acne. Yeah, what if it's not sunny out, though? What about that little issue? All right. If you're in the Discord, positions. What the fuck? Why the fuck is this not showing? Even this app is broken? Dude, I am having the worst tech luck today. TPT not connecting for me. Actually, at one point, even Apex not connecting for me. Do I just need to log out and log back in? Well, this is weird. I submitted an order. That, was it rejected? I'm trying to get in a trade that is just, like, you guys heard the ding, right? Am I losing my mind? I know you guys heard it. I guess I'm trying the exact same order. All right, it says it's working this time. All right, I think it's now actually going, but my first one seemingly did not go through. All right, if you are on the Discord, I am attempting to take a screenshot as quickly as I can because the trade did go through. But basically what I'm doing is I'm just taking Piper. Taking Piper on the day. And if you guys don't know what Piper is not only my cat, not only the chief investment officer at the hedge fund, but Piper is also a premium selling strategy that gives us an idea of just directional bias with some back stats. And we just talk about it in the Discord. Just kind of gives us, once again, a bias on the day. Do I take it every day? No. Sometimes I don't agree with Piper. And generally Piper's right and I'm wrong, but it's not something that I take every single day. All right, if you're in the Discord, Piper fired, that is in there. And then also my trade is in there. And then for the rest of you on stream, you saw obviously these trades that I've already done right here, making 15K on Apex and then making 2.5K on Take Profit Trader. So for me, 17.5K locked in. And then I'm also just in a live position on Piper. But honestly, I feel like this is a good way to start off a Monday. I'm feeling calm, cool, collected. I feel like we've had some good discussions about risk management. I don't know the numbers, but I have good vibes that a lot of you already signed up for public. Hopefully my pitch was compelling enough for you guys to get on what I perceive the best retail trading brokerage to be. And if you're not on it, well, that's a weird thing because my pitch was solid. So like I said, show public a little bit of love, pin to the top of chat in the description of the video. Use that link because you're going to start out at a higher rebate tier. As in every single time you trade an options contract, you're going to start earning more money. More money, more money, more money. Gotta hit that pipe to trade with Piper. Yeah, she's a big druggie. Actually, oh, dude. She's sleeping. You guys can't see her. At some point, she snuck up like a little ninja, and she's in her bed right behind me. Her ears are up. Now she's looking at me. Yeah, we're talking about you. Sorry about that. This is her nap time. She likes to nap when the market opens. Is public good for futures or just options? That's the one thing it doesn't have is futures trading. But on futures trading, I like sim to funded better anyway. But in terms of what public has, it's everything but futures. So it has stock trading, it has bond trading, crypto trading, options trading. It has all the other types of trading but futures. Matt, is public one of those apps that allows me to copy trade whenever you trade? No. Those are generally giant scams. If I kind of understand, are you talking about like in the world of futures, like copy trade someone's sim to funded trading? I don't like that. If that's what you're talking about. Hey Matt, your Apex accounts, what size are they? 50K or 75K? 50K. They're up about 30,000 each. So I started them at 50 on October 21st, and now they're at 80 on December 8th. I don't like the 75K accounts. My two favorite account sizes are 50K and 150K, but I tend to use 50K the most. The hardest thing with 50K is initially growing the buffer because you don't really have that much of a nominal drawdown. So if you're wrong on the first trade or two, you're kind of screwed. One way to combat that is by trading micros, but sometimes I just don't have the discipline to do it. I did have the discipline to do it today. Today I traded micros on those TPT accounts, but most of my trading days, I don't have the discipline to be trading the size that I should in sim to funded. Matt, your fly is down. Hey, that's mean.
Do you have to pay the monthly fee for Apex? That's what I can see on their website. No, you do on the test if you don't pass the test in like the first month. But most people either pass or fail the test within the first day. Obviously, if you fail it, you don't have to pay because the account's dead. If you pass it, well, no, then you could upgrade to a lifetime fee, which is only $6, and it's a lifetime fee, as in you pay $6, and now you have a performance account, aka a funded account, and it's just that one-time fee of $6. Should I take the max payout request since I hit all my marks today with my 8th day tomorrow? I mean, it's up to you. Because remember, if you get approved on that, it's going to take it from your buffer. So do you feel like you have enough buffer? Do you separate your trading stats profits from manually trading in your bots? Yes. And surprise, surprise, the bots are way better than I am. It's just what's interesting about the data of my manual trading is I actually have a higher hit rate and larger winners, but I also have larger losers. And unfortunately, those losses can like be asymmetric and really fuck me over. What happens if you lose jail? Oh, if you lose the trading test to pass, yeah, straight to jail. Probably depending on how many trade tests you fail, you could actually go to a max security prison. Like they actually just like bust in your door. It's like a whole new subdivision of ICE that Trump's been working on for people who fail their trading tests. And they just, it's kind of like solitary confinement, but worse. And that's actually for the best people, as in the best behaved. Most people would even hope to be in the equivalent of solitary confinement. Facts are more important than your feelings. I don't know if I agree with that. I think feelings really, really matter, especially in college safe spaces. $500,000, you're damn good, so your bots must be killing. I want to clarify, the $500,000, it's a bot system, but there is manual execution because I end up skipping a lot of the bot trades. So even today, there was an example of the bot fired off on my chart over here. You guys can't see it because I guess the camera's on me right now, but I have another chart, and every single time the bot fires, I get a special alert in my headphone and there's a marker on the chart. There was a second one that I pointed out to you that actually would have been gnarly and I should have taken it, but I guess in hindsight, it would have actually made more money, but I do choose to skip certain signals because there's pieces of information that NinjaTrader doesn't have that I do have. For example, options flow. This options flow data that I get from Spot Gamma, this liquidity data that I get from Bookmap is not on NinjaTrader. So sometimes I choose to take the signal if Bookmap agrees and if Spot Gamma agrees. And today I would say Bookmap didn't agree because of I saw where VWAP was at. So I chose to skip it. Now, like I said, granted, if I took it, I would have made even more money. But I do choose to skip some of the signals because there's pieces of data I have outside of NinjaTrader. So the system is running within NinjaTrader, so you can only run it on the data that it has. But the major thing it doesn't have is the options flow. Can you script it into your bot to scrape the info you use for API? I bet if you were really, really good at coding and cared about it, you could. I guess I just don't have the interest in figuring that problem out. I have already too many other things to do in my life that I just didn't do it. Can you make a video about your trading setup, computer, monitor, microphone? No, but I could just tell you. I have a Sony A7S III camera. I have a Shure mic with a Rode stand, apparently. And then I have ring lights from Amazon. Oh, and my computer is, the monitor is an Omen, O-M-E-N. And I have, the other one's a Dell for some reason, 27 inches, both of them. And then my computer is kind of a higher end computer from Meta PCs, which I think I'm going to have to buy another computer for them soon because I got this one back in 2021. So I've been running on this computer for a minute. So I think it might be time for your boy to upgrade to 64 gigs. Actually, I need another monitor too. I don't like the two monitors I have. I don't like the angling. I have like horizontal or I have a vertical monitor over here and a horizontal one here. And the way the camera is with these two, I kind of want to do it. I actually want to reset my whole studio, but I'm moving in April of this upcoming March. I'm moving in March of this upcoming year. So then I thought to myself, what's the point of redoing my entire studio right now when I'm only going to have it for 12 weeks and then I move? So I just figure on my move at that point, set up the new studio how I want it. You can use it for tax write-offs to buy a whole new system. Yeah, I plan on doing that. I fully plan on doing that. I have two 27-inch monitors vertical and 42 in the middle. You come into Florida? I wish, dude. I don't think I'll be able to talk my wife into it, but dude, I visited the beaches in Jacksonville. Like, I'm not joking around. I stayed at a Margaritaville in Jacksonville, and I went in with such a low opinion of what it was going to be, and I thought it was fucking awesome. So I really, really liked it. Like I said, I thought Jacksonville was going to suck, and it was some of the nicest beaches in my life. But I'm also pretty biased to the Tampa, St. Pete area. I think that's a beautiful area with a lot of just opportunity, beaches, beautiful scenery. The issue is a lot of other people have figured that out, so prices are going sky high. I'm not the kind I don't really give a shit about Miami. I don't really give a shit about Fort Lauderdale. It's just not for me. Like, I'm just not really that like partying type. It's nice. Like, I enjoy going every once in a while, but to live there, it's just like not my scene. Right now, in my particular world of like finance content creators, there's a lot of crypto bros down there, and it's just not me. It really is not me. I could be, I could be convinced to go to Boca, because isn't that above Fort Lauderdale? I believe it goes Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Boca. I could be convinced of Boca if I had to go on the ocean side, but I kind of like Jacksonville a little bit more. But at least Boca has Fort Lauderdale's airport. That's an advantage. I don't know, but I like that area. I really like the Tampa, Bradenton, St. Pete area. I think that's nice. I just like living on the water. My next place, and I know I'm saying this as a person currently living in New York City, dude, I want to live on the water so bad. I don't even care, dude, if it's a river, a lake, a pond, an ocean, a gulf, a sea, a fucking large sink or pot of water. I just want to live on the water so bad. I used to live on the water in Virginia Beach, and the ability to just be able to just walk on the water, I think there's something so like therapeutic about it. Like, so I don't know, just enjoyable. It puts my mind at ease. But dude, I want to, like I said, I don't care what kind of water. I don't give a fuck about. It could be, like I said, it could be a small ass creek where I just look at frogs all day. That I just want to live on water so bad. You could live on the water. Like, I just want to live on a boat. Like, literally on the water. No, I'd never live on a boat. I would be on a boat, but I don't want to live on a boat. I'd get way too motion sickness and probably vomit. Sewage water, hey, it's better. I basically am living on sewage water right now. Didn't you hear that I live in New York City? Come to Cape Cod. I like visiting Cape Cod. I don't think that area is necessarily the best for taxes. We're getting a little bit of a breakdown here, team, which means Piper's probably already paying. Bearish. Yeah. All right. So we are officially breaking below this. So watch for the bounce off of 25. So we did break below the put debit spread, debit with a D. We broke below this structure, this 2-bar structure. The next support is going to be the put credit with a C. Look for that bounce off of 25. So of course, watch for the immediate just like fake out right here. But if this keeps going, I'd be watching right here, right where my cursor is, this 25. Actually, we don't even need 15 anymore. I could just update this. If you're looking to buy the dip, depending on how options flow looks, I'd be looking here. If you're currently short and looking to ride it, this would be an interesting area. Is someone still playing 40? Yeah. Also, you might want to watch 40. There is a positive gamma there, so there is a chance of a bounce. But I'd be watching 40. I'd be watching 25. And obviously, if this is just a fake out and it hangs up like it starts to quickly rebound and hang out above 55, that's a different story. That might be a bullish recovery. Other than that, I'd be targeting 40. I'd be targeting 25 if I had some sort of like linear position. Minnesota has a lot of water. Yeah, I mean, I've seen beautiful things out. I mean, I have some family out in like South Dakota, so when I visit them, it's always fun. I don't have family, but I've spent some time in Montana. It's beautiful. Like something about the ability to see the mountains and have water. Like I think the ultimate situation is like simultaneously being able to see some grand mountains, but then also have water. There's not many places in the U.S. that have that, but I mean, it's awesome. And there's definitely not many places that have mountains, water, and no state tax, which would be optimal. It seems like a lot of the states that have those options have a lot of taxes, and that's just because so many people want to be there. It's one of those things, hey? It's life. But anyway, we really went on a tangent there because, like I said, I'll probably be moving in. Not probably. I am moving in April, March, January, February, March, April. I'm moving in March. How does the Gregorian calendar work? I think it's March. Washington State, Oregon coast. Yeah, but that time zone for being a trader kind of sucks. Unfortunately, it's California, but not. Or there are very beautiful places in California. It's just sad that the state is run horribly. Like my only real I would even be honestly willing to pay the taxes of California because like whatever, you pay more for beautifulness, for just like how awesome it is. But it's just the government in California fucking sucks, dude. I would pay California taxes if that was the only issue with it. Unfortunately, it's not the only issue. The government's horrible out there, which is a bigger issue. Northern California, dude, couldn't you guys see me retiring and opening a vineyard? Like I just become like a little farm boy vineyard guy. I'm just out there with my one little grape plant making like a third of a bottle of wine per year. I would love to retire and run a vineyard. Just out there tending to my vines. And hey, maybe Northern California, maybe you don't get as impacted by government up there. Maybe the biggest issues are just SF and LA. I don't know. Come to Charlotte. I think Charlotte's great. Come to Texas. Nah, I go to Texas every once in a while. One time I was in Houston and I think my cells are still damaged from how hot it was. I went to a live event in Houston, Texas. Dude, I was cooked. I think my organs are still like actually still overheated from that event. Granted, I was in Houston in June, which in retrospect, I probably shouldn't have done. But dude, it gets hot. Dude, it gets so fucking hot in Houston. Come to Utah. Utah would be interesting if I can manage the money for all those Mormons. I have so much money. North Texas ain't bad. I've never been, so maybe it's awesome. I've been to Austin for a weekend. I've been to Houston for a weekend. He only goes to Texas for the Roadhouse. North Texas is where it's at. Do you guys consider Dallas to be North Texas? Like, do Texans consider that, or are you talking about even a different town? The only town that I know of that's even potentially North Texas is Dallas, like Dallas, Plano. Is that, do we have any local Texans who would agree with that? Like, is Dallas North Texas, or are you talking at like even above that? Dallas is South Oklahoma. The Dallas Fort Worth and North. Okay. I've been to that airport, but that's my real explode. Dude, this is dropping. Yeah. Like I said, watch 40. That's your scale out target number one. And then your real reach is 25. Why 25? Just this giant put credit spread at 25. If that cracks, 810 and then 800. I'm in Plano. I think I've had some work trips to Plano back when I worked at Capital One. I believe Capital One, the bank, has a large presence in Plano, Texas. I believe. Panhandle? There's a Panhandle in Texas? I thought that was just a Florida thing. You need to attend the Houston Rodeo. Now, I've heard that is awesome. I've heard that like it is a worthwhile trip to experience that weekend, the big rodeo in Houston. I heard that's absolutely awesome. Newark, New Jersey? Maybe. I mean, it's not that far from me, and it at least has an airport. Why is the market selling? Any news? I mean, I'll double check. I don't think there's like massive breaking news right now. I think this is more of we had an interesting options position coming into the day. You had the call debit spread and the put debit spread. The put debit spread seems to be winning out. We've been tracking it throughout the day, but look at this. Literally from the get-go, it's just been call selling. Like someone 15 seconds into the day has pretty much kickstarted this call selling, the green line, and really hasn't stopped. So I think it's a lot of call selling. It might be selling to open. It might be selling to close. We won't definitively know that until the end of the day, but it's a lot of call selling. And actually starting at 10:23, it turned into some put buying. I think this is more of we've pumped so much that this is a reasonable pullback. I think I know there's people in the audience right now saying, why in the world are we selling off? We're down 0.46%. Maybe a better question is, why did we pump 4.4% with no look back? To me, this is mean reversion, and there's still this downside gap fill at 6776. It gets effing hot in the West Coast, Naples, all the way to Tampa. East Florida is the win. Delray Beach, Gulfstream, close to PBI, FLL, one of Miami, really amazing spots. Like I said, I mean, I do Delray's Nice. You have, what's it? Is it Palm Beach, Palm Springs? I know one's in California, one's in Florida, but Palm whatever is right there. That's beautiful. There's nice areas. I just I don't know. The part of my life where I would have really enjoyed what Miami has to offer is unfortunately 5 years behind me. It's just not my vibe anymore. So I'm not going to pay that extra expense to be in Miami when I don't enjoy any more of the things that you do in Miami. And no knock on you if you guys enjoy it. I just aged out of it. My organs can't handle it anymore. My sleep schedule can't handle it anymore. But no, I've spent some time in Fort Lauderdale and above. And yeah, there are like legitimate beautiful beaches without a doubt. But I also really like the Tampa side too. Vegas, if I work concerts and convention. Dude, I would not live in Vegas. Too hot. Okay, talking about how I melted in Houston. One time I went to some sort of convention in Vegas in July. It should be illegal how hot it can get in Vegas. And then what's crazy about it is you could actually like get in the same day, I believe in Vegas because it's a desert and where it is geographically in the US. Is there any other place in the US where in the same day, during the day, you could die of heat stroke to only then die of hypothermia at night? It's like you're just getting attacked from both sides when you live in a desert. Midday, 1 p.m., you're gonna melt. You'll be a human puddle. And then fast forward 12 more hours, you're actually a human ice cube dying of hypothermia. Like, who invented that idea? That's a horrible idea. That guy should be fired from his job. Whoever decided to invent the temperatures of Vegas, they should be fired. It is crazy. It is absolutely nutty what you guys have going on in Vegas. Only have to go every other month or so, dude. It's fun for a weekend. Vegas, for me, is a perfect town. 3 days, 2 nights. No more, no less. That is the perfect Vegas trip. But one thing I do like about Vegas now, as a person who obviously loves gambling, I actually like all the shows that they have going on. Trying to grow up in Minnesota. Well, that's just straight up cold. San Diego is best for weather. All of my friends who go to San Diego literally never leave it. They all say the same thing, that it's the best place they've ever been to. They love San Diego. But same thing. You're playing California. Like, you're paying for it. That's the trade-off. All right. Anyway, folks. Mag 7's getting destroyed. S&P 500 is getting destroyed. Bearish, bearish, bearish on the 5, 10, and 30. Bearish, bearish, bearish on the 5, 10, and 30 for both ES and NQ. I've given you these key levels. Watch 40. 40 is this positive gamma node. Let me zoom in so you can see it a bit better. Right here is 40. So we cracked this put debit spread. I'm really emphasizing that because we haven't seen these types of plays in a while. Next target is 40. After that, you have a put credit spread down here at 25. So watch 40, watch 25. My bet is that this would hold, but if it doesn't, you're looking for this 10-point region between 6,800 and 6,810. But I would bet that this holds just because we don't have major news today. Of course, maybe a random announcement comes through that ends up cracking it. But if we get down to this region, I'd be looking for the bounce off of it. But once again, just my personal idea of how this plays out. Show public a little bit of love, pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. If you're an options trader or aspiring as an options trader, I believe this is the best place for you to be an option trader because it's the only place that gives you a rebate. So check that out, pinned to the top of chat in the description. Use that link because you're going to start out at a higher rebate tier. And even though they're not the partner of today, let me remind you, Apex, you have a day and a half left to take advantage of this deal with that code Goonie. Same thing on Take Profit Trader. Folks, that's what I have for you right now. We will be posting an update video later on today after market close, but we also have a specialty video for you of reviewing the trading strategy that now in about 2 months has made me almost $500,000. That's coming out today. So for all of you who we went over the Apex numbers today and trading this and that, I have a video. It's almost done being edited. It will be coming out today. So make sure you have your notifications on both Rumble and also on the specialty second channel, the Velvet Kohrs channel over on YouTube. That video is coming out today. So if you're curious about the strategy and the management and what I do, like I said, videos coming out free for everyone to watch. So you have 2 more videos coming out today. I gave you the key levels. If you're in the Discord, Piper already fired. I posted my trades on my stuff. I already showed you those trades in real time. That's it, folks. It's a beautiful Monday. Tomorrow, if you ask me, is going to be a repeat of today where intraday will get some movement to the upside, to the downside, but the real show is on Wednesday. That's the FOMC decision. That's going to be, in my mind, the event that sets us up for new all-time highs between now and pretty much January, or are we double topping and selling off? It's all going down on Wednesday. So in my mind, today, tomorrow, good for scalp trading, premium selling, that type of a thing. But the real show, the real are we catching the whole next leg? I believe that gets kickstarted on Wednesday. That's what I have for you. I appreciate all the good vibes. I hope you've made a fuckload of money. And if not, hey, there's always time left in the day. Watch those key levels, respect your risk, and I'll catch you later. Peace.